Chairman, and this is to the panel. The FAA estimates that the hobbyist UAS fleet will be more than triple the size in the next 4 years. On the commercial side, there'll be a tenfold increase. You know, this is becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry that will only grow in the future. You know, I represent an area that was once a thriving industrial district. I'd like to ask, what does this mean for American manufacturing? I know DJI, a Chinese company, is one of the biggest manufacturers of drones. Does anyone on the panel see where we can move forward in the United States in this effort?
Yes, sir. That's a great question. We have been forecasting a lot of economic activity, not only in the industry itself, but also value added to companies such as Southern Company, et cetera, for their business models. So I think it's very, very good for the economy. You know, our estimates, which are in my testimony, are as we integrate into the airspace, more and more value accrues. So we have a shortage of pilots in this country for manned aircraft, and a growing number of unmanned pilots for the commercial sector. Those unmanned pilots, increasingly as we get to automatic airspace authorizations, and automation is a word I've been trying to get out here during this panel, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But automation is really, really key, and more of that automation will enable scale. More people will make a living doing this, whether it be adding value to particular industries or, you know, repairing drones and of such nature.
Okay, sir.
So I think one of the themes that you've heard is not just scale, but also the particular applications that we've heard, say, the Southern Company want to pursue. When we have high volumes of particular applications, it's going to create a much more rich ecosystem, a larger pie that other manufacturers can participate in. And that's where I think we're going to see some greater competition and greater opportunity for domestic industries when we see the airspace get unlocked to a whole variety of use cases where building to a particular use case might give them a competitive advantage.
And so also as this grows, as you were saying, Mr. Wynn, there'd be the opportunity for a larger market of pilots for these in industry, correct?
Absolutely, and we have been, we stood up our Remote Pilots Council earlier this year. Training is starting to come online. Trainers are starting to transition over to the unmanned space from the manned space, or to expand into that space. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and I come back to, we have a pilot shortage. This is a lower barrier to entry for pilots than, you know, and a way to get people interested in aviation, whether it be actually flying drones, designing the software, designing the middleware that goes into corporate and enterprise systems, all the way to the repair work that is going to be required.
Thank you. Mr. Ball.
Well, I would just like to say, too, I think as the industry expands and grows, it provides a great opportunity, too, for the men and women in the military who've learned how to fly unmanned aircraft there. This becomes a great job opportunity for them. And in the utility industry, we've been very focused on really reaching out to veterans and those folks who are coming out of the military. So I think there's a win-win for just a whole lot of sectors here.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Alonso.
Yeah, I think, Barry, your question is how we nurture the development of industries that utilize drones, develop drones, produce drones here in the U.S. And I think putting together, the best thing you can do is put together the infrastructure to enable large scalability. So many hundreds of thousands of drones flying simultaneously, such that these business cases can actually be built.
Well, thank you. You answered my second question, so I'll yield back.
Okay.